What's up guys, Manny from Motomillion, and this is your ultimate wheel guide for the Ducati Panigale and the Streetfighter models. Let's go through the model of motorcycles that we're going to cover on this video. This applies to the older Panigale models, which is the 1199 and the 1299. But in the modern era, it covers the Panigale V4, Streetfighter V4, Panigale V2, and the Streetfighter V2 models and all their variants. Now you're probably wondering, why would someone want to change their wheels on their motorcycle? So I think there is two reasons for that. One is that they want to achieve a certain look. Two is that they want to take advantage of the lightweight characteristics and what it does to your motorcycle with the wheels that we're about to cover. Wheels are just not for looks, but I think it makes the biggest difference in the agility of a motorcycle. I was first exposed to this back in 2014 or 2015 when I had just fitted carbon fiber wheels on my motorcycle. And let's face it, in 2014 or 2015, the stock wheels on these motorcycles were much heavier than what's available right now. So the gap between a carbon wheel and the stock wheel was quite wide apart. The first thing I thought was, this motorcycle now feels like a bicycle in terms of nimbleness, because there was that absence of weight and that rotational weight that these wheels create, where when you go to lean the motorcycle, now it's a lot easier to lean the motorcycle, because don't forget, if you take a disc or a wheel and spin it, all it wants to do is it wants to stay straight, and that's the rotational force that the wheel applies to the motorcycle. And when you try to lean it, you always have that force. When the weight of the wheel is reduced, that force is reduced as well, and that's what the added benefit is. And I think the favorite mods for me on motorcycle is something that I could touch or I could feel. So it's stuff like your handlebar stuff, and also exhaust, where you could feel it, right? Because you hear it. It's some sensory overload that the motorcycle gives you. And I think wheels are possibly the most overlooked modification on a motorcycle when it comes to people riding these things and getting an immediate feedback back from the motorcycle. So now that we talked about why you want to change your wheels, let's talk about the materials that these wheels are made of. Carbon fiber wheels, as the name suggests, is made out of carbon fiber, but they also use a little bit of forged aluminum. For the hubs of the wheels, this is where your wheel is fitted onto the motorcycle, but also your rotors and ABS sensors are located on. In terms of forged wheels, there's two offerings. There's forged aluminum and forged magnesium wheels. What is a forging? Forging is a forged piece of metal. So in this case, it would be a forged magnesium piece or a forged aluminum piece. If you ever take a look at a wheel forging, it's basically a blank round piece of metal that's forged into the shape that it is, and it gets put into the CNC machines where it's cut into the final shape of the wheel. Out of two forgings, forged magnesium is the lighter weight and forged aluminum is the slightly heavier of the both choices. But then again, they're both great choices because they have very lightweight characteristics compared to a cast wheel, which a cast wheel is basically a cast where they pour a molten metal in and then it takes the shape of the casting. There's also other ways of making cast wheels, but we want to keep this video simple. In any way or form, those cast wheels are always heavier and the lowest end of the wheels. And this is why most manufacturers offer their motorcycle with cast wheels, because of the inexpensive nature of building these wheels. In terms of carbon fiber wheels, we only offer BST's lineup of wheels. And in this video, we're going to talk about the Rapid wheels, because they are not only the most popular offering that they have for Ducatis, they're the latest generation road legal wheels that they have introduced for these motorcycles. Furthermore, BST is the wheel of choice, or the manufacturer of choice, for Ducati OEM wheels. So the special models like the SP, SP2s, your Superleggeras, all of their carbon fiber wheels are actually produced by BST. And not only the wheels, their swing arms and their carbon fiber frames are produced by BST for them. That gives a lot of credibility for their brand name, that Ducati is using them as an OEM supplier. So let's talk about the differences about an OEM Ducati wheel and a Rapid by BST. There's not a lot of differences. I think they have contracts set in place with Ducati that they cannot produce the wheel exactly the way it is for the aftermarket world, but they've made some changes and tweaks with the design, as you could probably tell, that the Rapid wheel is now available for the aftermarket world. They are the lightest weight offerings for these motorcycles. Again, at the end of this video, we'll run through the weights of each wheel that we're talking about. And they come in gloss finish and matte finish, which we usually call the satin finish for these motorcycles. You might have also seen some color offerings on these wheels. We do not offer these color options because I truly think I have not ever seen a colored wheel in terms of carbon fiber look good. Because don't forget, you're putting that lacquer clear coat on top of a black background, which is your carbon fiber. And the shades might look good on camera to you guys if you do some camera magic, but trust me, the red never looks red, it looks maroon. Blue never looks blue, it looks teal. That's why I think a lot of people get disappointed after they special order these wheels and they receive them and it's not the color that they imagined it is, or it's on camera. That's why we don't offer these colored wheels in terms of carbon fiber wheels. Now that we talked about BSTs, let's hop over to the metal wheels, and let's start off with Marchesini's. With Marchesini's offerings, we offer forged magnesium wheels by Marchesini, and we don't really offer their forged aluminum wheels because we think Marchesini makes the best forged magnesium wheel. And again, we curate what we sell, and this is why we have the forged magnesium wheels by Marchesini. The Marchesini forged magnesium wheels are the lightest weight metal wheel options that you have. As the name suggests, they're made from forged magnesium. They come in various colors like black, matte black, gold, and also in some instances they could be special ordered with different colors. But again, lead time is a big thing. These wheels take a long time to manufacture. The lead time's around 6 to 8 months. I don't know many of you guys who are patient enough to wait that long for wheels. I know I'm not. That's why if you're gonna order them in a special color, make sure that you're very patient and you understand that it's gonna be a very long lead time. Now let's hop over to the forged aluminum wheels, and we're gonna talk about OZ Racing. I think OZ Racing makes the best forged aluminum wheels that are available. And when I say best, I'm not knocking on any other brand name in terms of Marchesini. They do make really good forged aluminum wheels, but the OZ Racing's offerings, number one, they're at a great price point. I think they're the lightest weight forged aluminum offering that's available. And it's the gas wheels that we offer to you guys in terms of the forged aluminum wheels for the single-sided swing arm model of these Ducatis. They're available in various colors again, so they're available in gold, gold anodized, black, and matte black wheels. And there's also one special edition model of these wheels, that's what they call the Chrome Shadow. And this is more of a silver wheel, but those wheels are no longer readily available. There might be a few sets lying around. But in terms of what's available, those colors that I mentioned are the ones that are most available. And again, just like the forged magnesium wheels, you could special order these wheels in certain colors, but the lead time comes as the expense of 6 to 8 months. So you have to be very aware of that when you're ordering these wheels. Now that we ran through these brand names, let's talk about who these wheels will cater to. The BST Rapid wheels will cater to the rider who's looking for the lightest weight wheel, but is not really bothered with just that black look of carbon fiber, but you do have options with gloss and satin finish. The Marchesini Forged Magnesium wheels will cater to the rider who wants a little bit of color, but maybe also doesn't want to run a carbon fiber wheel on their motorcycles for various reasons, but they are the lightest weight metal option for wheels. The OZ Racing Forged Aluminum wheel caters to the customer who doesn't want to break the bank when they're purchasing a lightweight set of wheels. Also, they have a little more color option in terms of the wheel finishes. And while we're talking about this topic, some of you guys might notice that your Ducati's S model has a forged aluminum wheels made by Marchesini, but the OZ Racing forged aluminum wheels are still lighter, and we'll get to it in the wheel weight section. And I also want to mention that we now offer installment options. I know that these wheels might be one of the bigger purchases for your motorcycle. If you go on our website in the checkout section, you'll see that there's some options in terms of installments to pay these wheels in certain amount of installments. There's options that are catered to each customer. You could go and check that out. And before we go to the wheel weights, let's talk about moment of inertia, because this is directly related to the weight of the wheels. Back in the day, the technology wasn't there to make these forgings or make these carbon fiber wheels with the correct moment of inertia. What do I mean by moment of inertia? So if most of the wheel weight is not in the center of the wheel, but it's at the rim of the wheel, it creates what we call moment of inertia. And the lighter that outside section is on these wheels, the less moment of inertia you'll have. And again, that's rotational mass that's lowered on your motorcycle. But nowadays, this is very well represented with the wheel weights that we're going to talk about. The lighter the weight, the less the moment of inertia is going to be. Now that we covered this, let's get to the individual wheel weights so that you guys know how much each wheel weighs. So we're going to first talk about the OEM wheels, and we're going to start with the heavier of the OEM wheels. This is your cast OEM wheels. And the weights that we're giving you guys are all the 6-inch width variant in the rear wheels. This is the Panigale V4 and the Streetfighter V4. And you guys will get to see on our Panigale V2 build that we're doing that you could run that 6-inch wheel on the back of the Panigale V2 or the Streetfighter V2 models as well. So the stock OEM cast wheels weigh 8.8 pounds in the front 11.12 pounds in the rear with a total weight of 19.92 pounds. The forged aluminum wheels that are made by Marchesini in the OEM specs weigh 7.5 pounds in the front, 8.05 pounds in the rear, which makes it a total weight of 15.55 pounds. Now let's get to our lightweight wheel options. We're gonna go through the lightest weight options that you could get through aftermarket wheels, and this is the BST Rapid wheels. They weigh 6 pounds in the front, 5.34 pounds in the rear, with a total weight of 11.34 pounds, which is lightweight. The next set of wheels that we're going to talk about are your Marchesini Forged Magnesium wheels. They weigh 6.5 pounds in the front, 6.1 pounds in the rear, with a total wheel weight of 12.6 pounds. And the next is our forged aluminum wheels by OZ. These are the gas wheels. They weigh 6.96 pounds in the front, 7.78 pounds in the rear, with a total weight of 14.74 pounds. Now that we've laid out all the weight specs for you guys, these weights might vary a little bit with some of the finishes because maybe anodizing doesn't weigh as the colored options in terms of painted wheels. So keep that in mind, but the weight changes are not going to be drastic with these colored finishes that we mentioned. Now that we ran through the wheel weights, guys, let's talk about other things to consider when you're buying these wheels. Number one, BST wheels will come with a ceramic wheel bearing option. We usually only keep the ceramic bearing option available in stock, since most people often choose these ceramic bearings. These ceramic bearings are only available on the BSTs. They're not available for the forged magnesium or the forged aluminum offering. I think the benefits of them are not that far apart, since the forged magnesium and the forged aluminum offerings already come with very high quality bearings. What does the ceramic bearings do on the Ducatis? They're only in the front axle, guys. The rear axle of these Ducati models, since it's a single-sided swing arm, the bearing is not pressed onto the wheel. So on your front wheel, you'll have a ceramic bearing, which will have a little less friction. To be honest, I have not seen any data that suggests that it makes anything faster. I'm sure it does, but I don't know how measurable this is. But if you want the best of the best, that's probably why you're getting a BST wheel, and that's why we usually only stock the BST wheels with the ceramic bearings already installed on them. Other than bearings, you probably want to consider upgrading your rotors because your wheels are going to be off. So it's a good time to take a look at your rotor options. Or if you're going to run a second set of wheels, you already want to have the rotors on the wheels so that they're ready to go and easy to swap out. If you guys want more in-depth information about some braking upgrades, including the rotors, we have an ultimate brake guide video on our YouTube channel. Go and check that out. We talk in depth about your rotor options or other options that comes along with it. Now that we ran through all the possible information that I could think of so that you can make an informed choice when you're upgrading your wheels, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put it in the comments below. And also, any further information that you want to receive, I'm sure a Motomillion team member will be more than happy to help you out. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Until next time, guys, have a good one.